All right. Okay. We're back. Sorry about that. Okay. So there was some internet connection. So yeah, Sophia is ready. So if you have any questions for her, please feel free to type your questions in the chat box below, and I'd be more than happy to read them back to you. So let's admit her now. Hey,
Hello. How are you?
I hate like weekend, all these interruptions and the connections. For some
Yeah.
reason, it always happens on a Saturday or a Sunday in my area. Did it happen to you in your area as well? Like that?
Yeah, honestly, I'm not sure what happened. I feel like over the weekend it's the busiest time.
Yeah.
So I guess that's why.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So I thought, okay, is everybody like dying to see this interview? So that's why the whole internet connection is jammed. Like, oh, we want to see Miss
I
Cuba.
wish.
Well, you're looking pretty in pink and black.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So how are you feeling? Has your new title sunk in already after like 3 weeks?
Actually, it's funny because today they posted my official photos in the
Woo!
Miss Grand International page. So this is an amazing time for our life because the past few weeks have been a little bit hectic. We've been doing a little bit of everything. There was certain deadlines that I had to meet, and I really didn't have the time to sit down and think, okay, you're going to Miss Grand International representing Cuba. And I was actually telling Liz the other day that oh my gosh, I can't believe it. Like, I am going to Miss Grand International. I feel so accomplished. And when they posted the pictures today, I my heart just
Dumped.
I feel so full and fulfilled. I feel like after this there's nothing else for me to do out there, and I know that it might sound like I'm closing doors or opportunities, but just setting foot on the Miss International stage for me, it's everything.
Wow.
So yes, I'm really looking forward to Vietnam.
So when you saw your official photograph posted from the official Miss Grand International social media account, you finally realize, oh my God, I'm not dreaming anymore. I have to pinch myself. This is reality. Okay. If it hurts, which means it's real, the pain is real
Mhm.
and is real. I'm actually going to Vietnam. Now, I would think that you already saw the schedule of activities.
Oh yes.
What do you think of the schedule of
I
activities?
I've never been to a pageant of this magnitude.
Wow.
And for me, well, actually, fun fact is I love to know what I'm doing. I kind of like I love to be in control. And I know there's certain things that obviously we can't control. But when I saw the schedule, actually Liz sent it to us. It was me and Noemi in a group chat. And I remember that it was early in the morning when I saw it and I was working and I just hearted it. But then I went again. I'm like, oh my gosh, okay, I am going to Miss Grand International. So I was very excited to see it, and just the fact that the organization is doing all of this for us. We are visiting 6 different cities, which is
Yeah.
something amazing. And I always say that the most important thing is the experience because at the end of the day, that is when we leave, I'm sorry, Vietnam, there's only going to be one winner, right? And the experiences and the moments that we share not only with our sisters but the organization as well is what we would always, have in our hearts and our minds. And for me, the fact that the Miss Grand International organization is putting such an amazing, not just a show for the fans, but a grand experience for the girls
Mhm.
means the world. So I grabbed that scheduled and I created my own little
You did?
yeah, I created my own little PowerPoint
Yeah.
actually. And I researched every place that we're gonna be visiting. I'm still missing a few videos to look and
Sure.
watch, but because I wanted to know like where we're going, the events, the places, the shows that we will be attending. So it's a lot and I'm really excited.
Well, it's what, almost a month long, I think.
Yes.
And not only that, but the fact that you're actually visiting six cities, which means that you have to haul your luggage like six times, not including the arrival in the country and the departure from the country itself. So that's six times. And
Yeah.
also, we're talking about like a month long of, like, I would think you'll probably change your clothes like twice a day or three times a day. So I can imagine. And you cannot wear the same outfit, right? It has to
No,
be a different
so
outfit.
I mean, my count was near 60 or 50 outfits,
Six.
which
Oh, okay.
I'm aiming for that. However, like you said, sometimes activities go throughout the day and maybe you have time to change like twice
Mm,
or maybe one time. But I'm hoping that we will have time to showcase, our different styles and for people to also see how we can, just rock different outfits and I think that, yeah, I'm aiming for like close to 60. I don't know.
60. You know what? Here's a good tip. Okay. Now, if you want to travel light, I don't know if you have a basic black dress or a basic white dress that you can do different styles with it, like a with short sleeves or long sleeves, or a stretchable black dress that you can like pull lower for a more
Yes.
conservative like event, or maybe higher for a sexier event like dancing and disco and whatnot. And of course, you'll never run out of accessories like a scarf, jewelry, you know what I mean? Like little ribbons, corsets, you can just, glue it on your black dress and
Hmm.
voila, it's a different look,
I agree. I agree.
colors.
I think that, like accessories, like you said, it's something that we could definitely reuse like again and again and again, like a purse or earrings, even shoes. So that is what I'm trying to do because yes, I counted like 40, maybe 48 different activities that we're going to be doing and counting like rehearsals, and then we have sightseeing, and then we have a visit, or then we have a gala. So it's throughout the day we have maybe 2 to 3 events going
Yes,
on.
yes. Mhm.
But I'm definitely planning on reusing some of the accessories that I will be taking with me, mostly
That's fine.
shoes and
Yeah.
and bags. Yes, 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 yes.
I'm sure you're probably going to upcycle or reuse some of the stuff that you wore when you competed in Poland, I would think, because you had some beautiful stuff there.
Thank you. Actually, some of those things I either don't have them or where it's sponsored.
Okay.
But yes, I will be definitely using maybe the shoes mostly. And the purses. I love purses. That's
Versus,
that's
yeah.
my yes. That's my number one thing. But I will be using some of the maybe same shoes and purses that I was using at Poland. But when it comes to outfits, honestly, most of the stuff was like either sponsored or a collaboration
Mhm.
kind of thing. So I don't have many of them.
All right. Well, speaking of shoes, how many pairs of shoes will you be bringing with you?
Oh
Remember, we're
my
talking about
gosh,
like 30 days here, a month, a full month. You cannot wear the same pair of shoes every day.
that is a good question. Um, Honestly, I didn't know
You don't
yet
know?
because I was working, like I said, I was working on my outfits last night. With my friends, and I still have to send them to my directors, of course, for them to see, review, and provide feedback. But I'm still missing a couple, so I have to get back to you on that.
All right, no problem, no problem at all. It's funny because I think Vietnam, being in a tropical area in Asia, I would think the weather, of course, is going to be much warmer. Probably the same thing as Florida climate, the
Mm-hmm.
weather. It's humid, it gets really sticky, there's gonna be a lot of bugs and mosquitoes. Are you ready? Are you ready? What if some mosquitoes like land on your skin? Are you gonna kill it? Or
I will handle it. I will handle it. I am allergic to them,
oh,
but I will handle it. I will handle it like a
okay,
big girl.
that's great. Do you have a lookbook?
That's what I'm
Okay,
creating. Yes.
all right.
Liz already sent me some inspirations and I'm going based off on what she sent me. And then I have to send her back. It's like a teamwork kind of thing that we have going on. So she already sent me I wanted to see her opinion and her lookbook first, the idea. And she did that for me. So I'm going based off on what she told me and just picking here and there what am I going to wear. I'm also trying to work with designers at the same time, so that's why I hope to have everything finalized but the middle of this week, like maybe
Mhm,
Wednesday,
mhm.
because I don't have much time.
You don't? Oh my God, like time
So
is running
no,
fast.
yeah, I don't have much time. So we're shooting for that. We're hoping to have everything done by Wednesday or Thursday this week.
Mhm.
And then it will be just about like trying everything on, making sure that everything is great and ready to go, and packing, which is
Of
my
course.
favorite part.
Of course, yeah, right. I mean, you're a professional jet setter. You've traveled the world. Everybody, you like to travel, I would think. But I think you're professional, so you can handle everything.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will.
Now the big question is your evening gown ready? Can you give us any hints, or maybe it's going to be a secret? You know what I mean?
Yes, well, we are working on that as well. I have the sketches already approved, and I don't want to
Well,
say much.
all right, fine. Well, what about the mood of the evening gown? What kind of mood is it going to reflect?
Actually, let me tell you something. I always wanted to wear the gowns that I'm going to be wearing at Miss Grand International. Um, I will look like a goddess,
Of
and
course. Well, you already
I
are a goddess, honey.
I am, thank you, but I am really excited. We are working with designer from Vietnam,
Ooh.
and I am really looking forward to showcasing the designs at the Miss Grand International stage. Like I said, I'm very excited. We might do two different gowns because we have
Mhm.
approved two different gowns,
Okay.
and but either or, it's absolutely stunning. And I have to say that one of the gowns, the color, I've never wore anything like that on stage. So it
Really?
would be,
Ooh.
yes, it would be a new color for me.
Okay.
Um, but I'm really excited. And it's a color that I would never think about, like, or it would not be my first choice, to say it like that. My
I think
director
I have an
say,
idea. I think I have an idea what color you're gonna
"See,
wear. Yes. Well,
of
it's definitely not the same gown you're wearing on the banner right here. No, not
mm-mm.
that one, because that one says gold, green, uh,
Yes, it's like a
white,
gold,
black.
silver.
Yeah. Yeah. So actually, I love this gown, by the way. It's the perfect fit for you, for your body type. And I also like the cut of the slit. It's just perfect. It's not too high, it's not too low. It's just perfect. But it broke, remember? It
Uh,
broke.
oh my gosh. Yes, it did.
It broke.
Um,
And like Lisa was panicking. Oh my God, what happened to her girl?
yes, yes. Actually, we're talking about that. Not many people know that, and actually, no one knows that.
Mhm.
Unless they noticed that during my performance on stage, which honestly, the feedback that I got was that they couldn't see it. It was not noticeable. But when we were backstage and I was putting my dress on, it broke. And it was a very tense moment. I feel like I have to say that I let the situation kind of controlled my mind and my
Oh,
mood. And
yes.
yeah, it was a little bit because it was my first time.
Did you
And
cry?
actually,
Did you cry when it broke?
no, no,
No.
no. I
Okay.
was just very confused.
Like,
I
oh my
was
God, what
very,
happened?
yes, because the fact of, as you can see, the dress has the slit in the middle. So it was the first time that I was wearing a design like that. And the fact that it broke and it was in the middle, I was like, OMG, people will notice. And many, many things came through my mind. But I remember that Lulu was backstage with me and she saw my face, and Maria too, and she told me, "You got this. Don't worry. They're not gonna notice. Just go out there and kill it. You'll be fine."
Exactly.
But it's that little moment of you don't know how people
Would
see you,
react. Yeah.
right? Because
Mhm.
you don't know, you have no idea. And but yeah, it broke. And I remember some of my friends, we were wondering why you were like standing sideways all the time. And I'm like, zoom in, zoom in.
Well, you
Yeah.
know what? Just make sure every time you have a wardrobe fitting, make sure everything is secure in its place, and you don't want to duplicate a wardrobe malfunction, especially on the MGI stage. Because once that happens,
Yes.
it's going to go viral. You know what? You know what? I think that's a good idea. I think you should purposely have a wardrobe malfunction. So it's going to go viral, and you're going to be the most famous MGI candidate ever.
Imagine. No,
Please,
no,
if you're
no.
watching this, yeah, take this tip from me, okay? No, I was just kidding. I was just kidding. I'm sure there's not going to be any accident whatsoever because, everything. Lisa's a great director. I'm sure she'll
Yes.
make sure that everything's fine and perfect, for her girls. Now, from your evening gown, can you give us some hints about the national costume?
Hoo-hoo, the national costume. Well, the national costume was provided to me by the organization. So I had plans to work with Simblast, which was the designer for Simone. He was the one that designed my national costume in the past when I competed in Miss Supranational.
Okay.
But so because of time and other things, we couldn't sadly designed a national costume from scratch. But yes, my national costume will be a representation of my island, and I do hope that everyone loves what I'm going to be wearing that day. I will be taking photographs with my national costume real soon, and I will be posting the story behind it, because even though it was a costume that I did not design, and it was already made, it does has a value, and I want to put a story behind that
Sure.
national costume. So that I will be publishing as we get closer to the national costume competition,
Good.
so everyone knows, and could see the story behind the dress before they see it on stage.
I think that's a great idea because you don't want to put out everything out there all at once because
No.
you want to create
Hmm.
like a social media, you know, like you want to intensify the moment, so to speak. You don't want to like put
Yes.
everything out there at once. You want to leave something, the best for last. So that's great. I'm happy for you. Now, um, how are we doing? As you know, if when you make the top 10, the girls are all required to say something about stopping the war and violence.
Yes.
How are you
Mhm.
doing in that speech?
Well, the speech for my Stop the War and Violence would be a similar message to what I said on the Miss Grand Cuba stage. And the reason why is because at the beginning, when I decided to compete for Miss Grand Cuba, I was thinking, you know what is the message that I really want to put out there right now as Cuba? I don't live in the island, so I wanted to be very respectful and caring and empathetic when it comes to the message that I put out there, because like I said
Mhm.
again, I do not live in the island, and I am not experiencing the things that my Cuban people are experiencing right now. So I thought that the best positive way was to create a message that it was the reality of Cuba without offending anyone, and something that at the same time affected the whole world and not just Cuba. I feel like my message was about manipulation, and that it's something that we see today in many other countries around the world, and not just my country. So now that I am going to the Miss Grand International stage and I am going for that top, my speech will be kind of similar to what I spoke on my Miss Grand Cuba stage, which will be, war is not just with something that we see. It's not just the visual. It's not just arms and killing people. Sometimes violence is hidden behind the words and the actions of other people, and that is what I'm gonna bring to the Miss Grand International stage. That is my goal.
That's great. I would think that you probably also received a lot of hateful comments, a lot of online bullying, especially as far as the question of representation goes, because this is a common criticism that Cuban girls who were born in Cuba but then had migrated to the United States are receiving from Cubans living on the island. Now, the other day, I had an interview with Miss Grand U.S. Virgin Islands, your good friend, Heather Marie.
Yes.
And
yes.
of course, you probably know her story by now. She's getting all these hateful bashing comments, from the islanders who don't think that she's a good representation of the U.S. Virgin Islands. Now, in your case, how do you handle a situation where your fellow Cubans who live on the island treat you as if you're not one of them just because you live in the United States? I mean, how do you handle criticisms like that?
Well, actually, I love that question because that brings me to, you're letting me talk about something that I really wanted to talk about during this interview. And I have to say that during my crowning moment, I received good feedback, positive feedback, constructive criticism. And I also received negative comments that sadly I saw. And my reaction to those comments, I honestly just go ahead and like them. I think that it's important for my Cuban people in this case. And I have to say, before I say this, the support that I've received has been incredible. And I was actually very scared because, like you said, we always have those two sides of the stories. But I have to say that the support that I've received from people that live in the island has been gigantic. I mean, and so much, I don't know, I feel so loved and I feel accepted by my community, supported by my community. But when it comes to the people that think that because we don't live in the island, I mean, I am the representation of the Cuba of now. I feel like half of the Cubans have immigrated for a better future, better opportunities. And that is exactly what I'm representing. And I am taking advantage of that opportunity to give a voice and bring visibility to what is happening in my country. So yes, sadly, I don't live in the island like many of them, but I am using this as as something good to create a positive impact and do what I can. At the end of the day, we're just humans we're just girls with dreams. And I know I'm not going to change what's happening in my country in one day, but I know that what I do would have a positive impact, and I hope to inspire others within the island, outside the island, because at the end of the day, it's just about that. It's doing a good representation and bringing visibility to the issues in your country. Either you live in there or you don't. I was born in Cuba. I was raised in between Portugal and Spain, and I've lived in the United States now for quite some time. And many Cubans live here in China, in Germany, in Russia, and they still continue to use their voices and platforms for good. So I'm just doing that in a bigger public level per se. But yeah, I feel like sometimes we have to be also more empathetic towards us. We are girls with dreams, like I said, and we're trying to accomplish those dreams.
Mhm.
So that goes for everything. Also, what my friend Heather is going through, and for the negative comments that might come my way, that's the message that I would give them.
Mhm. You know what? That is an amazing, incredible message, and it's so important, especially if we're living in a global village. Um,
Mhm.
there's nothing wrong if you feel that your country lacks opportunities, to advance in life. Then what do you do? I mean, you go someplace
Yeah.
else, for greener pastures, and that's exactly what your family did, and that's great for them. So the thing is, a lot of people don't understand, not necessarily Cubans, but a lot of people don't understand that you're going to Vietnam not to represent a land, like a geographical area, but you're representing a community of Cubans, not only found in Cuba, but also outside of Cuba.
Yes.
That is very important, because a lot of people don't see that. That's why it's very common for Miss Grand International to invite girls to represent a specific like country, even though they're not really born in that country that they're representing, and which is in a way which makes Miss Grand International even a better pageant, because when you talk about like total inclusion and diversity, I think MGI, to me personally, is more inclusive and more diverse than the other pageants, whose rules are stricter. So that is important to know. So Miss Sofia Acosta, Miss Grand Cuba, is representing not a piece of land, okay, but she's representing the entire Cuban community, either in Cuba or outside of Cuba. Okay, get that to your thick skin, people. Now, you posted your latest reel, and I was watching it this morning, and I was like really fascinated. I know you are in the construction business, but I had never
Yeah.
seen you actually build a house. Okay, and I thought, wow, not only is she a beauty queen, but she's also building a house. Okay, so how did that come about? Was that your first time to build a house?
Actually, it was very funny because those videos that I posted, I have to be honest. I am in the construction industry. I am a woman in STEM. I am in the architecture field. However, I don't do most of the hands-on
Yeah.
work per se. So this is Habitat for Humanity. It's a great organization, nonprofit organization. It's in different places of, in this case, Florida. I've tried to volunteer with Miami, but they even have a wait list. So imagine. So I decided to go to Broward, which is a little bit,
Yeah.
maybe 45 minutes from where I live.
Mhm.
And that is amazing. You really have to build it. You get to build a house. In this case, we were doing the ceiling, right? And we were like doing the installation of the metals and stuff. I was struggling with that drill so much. They they had to come and give me instructions one time, two times, three times. And then I realized I think it's the drill. I think it does not have battery, it does not have power. So when I changed it, I was, capable to do more and faster. It was a great experience for me. And to me, more than just going on social media and using my platform to bring light to the things that I believe in, and the things that I'm passionate about,
Mhm.
doing this hands-on work, I don't know, it just makes me feel so good. I was very tired at the end of the day because we were there from 7 a.m. to 12 p.m. yesterday. And it was very tiring, but it was so rewarding. And actually, one of the guys that was there working for the nonprofit was telling me his story, and he lived in one of those houses. And he was telling me how much he values what we do, and because the number one thing that you can never get back is time. So for not just me, but it was 30 of us to be there volunteering all day long, not knowing what we were doing, but I mean there were supervisors and people that were willing to help us understand what we were doing, meant the world for him. And to hear his story, he came from a family of six. They had nowhere to live, and he was raised in one of these houses. So I felt like I need to come back here. I'm doing something really good. And
Yes.
I felt really, really good. Very tired, but really good. So I'll be going back soon.
That's amazing. Now, how does one qualify though to get one of these houses?
Well, these houses are it's for the underserved community, right? So
Privilege, yeah.
you go through a process of, application process, forms, and different things that you have to do and fill out. And the number one thing would be like your income. And I think I don't know the numbers exactly, but you have to be between that specific gap to actually qualify for one of these houses.
Okay.
So yeah, so it's basically for the underserved community and families. So it's a process. It's not hard, but it's not super easy.
Okay.
So I invite everyone to go to their page and check out their website, which has way more information, and it explains step by step what you have to do if you are
Yes.
in need of housing.
Yes.
So
I think their Instagram handle is at Habitat Broward, I believe. Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna put that Instagram account, I mean address in the chat box, description box below, so people can check it out. You know what? I have another idea for you to draw more followers to your social media. Lise, if you're watching, crazy ideas. Well, what about a photo shoot of you wearing a bikini, a hard hat, drilling or hammering something and wearing 6-inch heels? How's that? I think that would
Well,
be great.
that is a
I
great
think it's a wonderful
combination.
idea. I think it's a great idea. I think pageant fans, as you know, they're crazy and they're constantly looking for interesting images on Instagram and whatnot. I think that's one thing that you should consider before you leave for Vietnam. Don't you think?
I would keep that in mind. I would keep the idea in mind.
Yes, please, 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 please. Now, when do you leave for Vietnam, by the way?
I live on the first.
On the 1st,
Um,
October.
yes,
Okay.
because we have to be there on the third. So I'm planning on arriving a day before.
Okay. Are there any like special requirements involved? Special, I know you need your passport, but what about like vaccinations of some sort, like malaria injection, all that stuff? Are those required?
No, well, now that you said that, we I'm not sure about vaccinations. I don't think so because the organization has been very helpful when it comes to all the requirements and
Okay.
everything that we need. We do need a visa, which I applied to already, and I am waiting on a response. But the visa, it's more um, it's a very simple process. It's a
Yes. Yeah.
website. You just get in,
Yeah.
put your information, what you're gonna do, from what day
Mhm.
to what day you're gonna stay, who you're gonna be with. It's very simple. It's nothing to be worried about.
Right.
So once they send you, it's like a document that they send you, like a paper, and you
Okay.
have to print it out and take it with you and your passport once you um, get to Vietnam and are ready to enter the
Mhm.
country, like go pass through customs.
Okay.
So I already did that. So I'm just waiting on my paper to get on my email,
That's great.
and hopefully I'll be ready. Yes.
So I guess they're not required to ask you if you took another vaccine, like COVID vaccine, all that stuff, because I
Well,
know
I
they
did.
become more lenient, correct? I would
Yeah,
think. Yeah.
I have my COVID vaccines
Okay.
in case they ask me for, which I will definitely take that with me just in case to have that. And I have my vaccination card also
Mhm.
that I will take with me as well. But I will look into that, but I don't think so. Otherwise, we would have been told.
Mhm.
But I would definitely do my research.
Okay. Well, you know what? I think COVID is just like another flu, you know. I mean, like I was talking to Heather 2 days ago, and I said, you know what? Common sense. Just wash your hands. Okay. If you touch something suspicious, wash your hands. Don't put your hands up your nostrils or in your mouth or whatever. And just if you feel like you're getting sick, just wear a mask. You don't want to like be coughing at people, you know what I mean? So it's just common sense. Perfect. Now, are you traveling alone or are you traveling with your family? Is your family going too?
Yeah, they will go, but they will go towards the end of the competition.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know.
I am traveling alone,
Oh, what about your boyfriend?
but he will go after.
We'll go after.
So yeah, he would, my mom, my sisters, my family, my boyfriend, they will go the last week of the competition. So they're planning on flying out on the 22nd or 23rd, I
So
believe.
are you flying over the Middle East? Like, are you taking the New York, Doha, Qatar, and then Vietnam route? Pretty much. I think that's
Um, from Miami, yes, that's the one I'm taking.
yes.
I'm I'm
Okay.
I'm leaving from Miami, Doha, and then the
Okay.
middle.
So you'll have
I don't remember there's another country before I get to Vietnam. I'm just not sure. I don't remember honestly now from the top of my head, but I have like 3 stops or 4 stops
three
maybe.
stops. Oh dear.
Hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because Heather only has one layover in Doha.
Oh
Layover. 'Cause
no.
she's coming out of New York City, I think. Yeah, I would think. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, well, but I think she's leaving because we had a conversation, but I think she's leaving from Fort Lauderdale or something like that. So then she
Okay.
has Fort Lauderdale and New York, then Doha. That's kind of what I have. I have a Doha and then I have something else and then I
Okay.
have Vietnam.
It's so I think it's Qatar Airways, I believe, which I heard is a very
Yes.
good, it's a very
Yeah.
fine airlines. So I'm glad.
Yeah.
Now, who do you want to be your roommate?
Honestly, I'm open.
Open?
Yes, I'm very open to whoever my roommate is. I think that is also another beautiful part of competition. I remember in my past experience, Peru was my roommate,
Mhm.
and I don't know how to explain that, but in 3 weeks, you build this amazing bond. I remember when we were leaving, we were both like crying, oh my gosh, when are we gonna see each other again? And people might think, oh, that's crazy, but no, it's not crazy. That happened. So I'm open. Um, Maybe if it's someone that can teach me a new language, and I would teach them what I know. Or I don't know how they're gonna do it, if it's gonna be in alphabetical order or
Hmm.
how their
By
organization is
region.
gonna do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah, I'm very open. I do know Heather. I know the girl from Miss Grand United States, Stephanie.
Stephanie. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And of course,
Um,
do you know Miss Grand Ireland, Rachel Slauson? She also competed in
I
Cubans.
yeah, I don't know her in person. I met Stephanie at a pageant here in Miss Michigan, USA.
Mhm.
And that's when we met in person. But no, I don't know Rachel in person.
Okay.
Not yet.
Yeah, I think you like her because she's also amazing. Now, speaking of language, are you learning a little some Vietnamese language?
A little bit,
A little bit?
but I am going to take I have booked 4 classes from here now to before I go. It's just gonna be social, um, very simple, at
Mhm.
least to say xin
Basic.
chào and then continue something else very basic, but to be able to interact with people. How are you? How you feel today? See you later. All those things. So
How do you say, do you have some medicine for diarrhea? Just
I have no
in
idea how
case
you
you
said
eat
that.
something that's not, doesn't go well with your system, you never know.
Yeah, well, medications, that's, the medication, like our little emergency kit. I am taking that as well.
And also drink a lot of hot green tea with lemon, and little maybe some honey. That is always a good relief. So that's great. Listen, I know you have a very busy schedule ahead. You need more preparations to do, and I'm sure you have to continue, packing and sorting out your wardrobe and your shoes and accessories and whatnot. Now, before I let you go, do you
Mhm.
have a message that you'd like to communicate to your followers and fans, loved ones who are watching the show?
Yes, of course. I want to say thank you to everyone. The amount of love and support that I've received this past weeks has been um, unbelievable. I am working very hard to represent my beautiful country to the best of my capabilities and do my best and bring Cuba again to that top because that's what we deserve. And I want to also invite you to continue supporting me throughout this journey because the real deal starts real soon when I
That's
arrive
right.
to Vietnam. And to everyone that is new to my social media, thank you for joining me on this new journey. I am really excited, and I will be sharing a little bit more of how my preparation is going, so you will get to know me a little bit more as well.
That's amazing. I will also include your Instagram handle in the chat
Okay,
box below so people can follow
perfect.
you. Now, one last favor. I want you to introduce yourself to the world in an MGI style. Your name and the country that you represent. Go!
You want me to scream here?
Scream, please. Do something crazy.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I will give it a short try, okay? Sofia Acosta, Miss Grand Cuba.
Bravo! Yeah, love it, love it. Oh yeah, that's why you also have to do that. We're number one,
We have
number
to
one
do
and
the
only.
number
You
one.
know, that's amazing. Listen, darling, have a wonderful weekend, and thank you so much for granting me this interview. I know you're very busy, and you look gorgeous. You
Thank
look
you.
amazing. I think you're going to do very well in Vietnam, and we're going to be following you. The whole world is going to have eyes on Miss Grand Cuba, people. So please support Sofia Costa on her journey to Miss Grand International. And please watch the finals, which is going to take place in Vietnam on October 25th. So listen, we're going to be in touch. Okay, when I'm, call each other or Instagram each other or whatever. So I'm going to send you kisses, un beso, un abrazo, and have a wonderful time in Vietnam. And hopefully I'll see you there. I'm not sure if I'm going to go, but
Thank you.
hopefully we'll say.
Thank you so much, Rafa. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to come on here on your show and talk about my experience now from another perspective. Before that, I was a contestant. Thank you for always having your doors open to us, the contestants, to talk about us and share our journey and our story with your followers. Thank you very much.
Oh,
And I hope to see you soon.
you're more than welcome. Have a